This is my horse Breeze, and we're gonna take a little time today and show you a little bit about horse safety and how to interact with a horse in a positive way. The first thing I'd like to show you is how to tie your horse up properly. There's a lot of do's and don'ts about that. The first thing to remember is you need to tie them to something that's sturdy, that they can't pull away from. They are half-a-ton animal, and if you tie them to a fence or a gate, they can pull a gate off. The next thing to think about is you need to tie them high enough. The Old West, where they had the tie-offs at your waist, is too low. You need to tie them about at the size of the top of their wither, and this is their wither up here. And then they need to have a quick release knot, and they need to be tied to something if they did pull back that it would at least let go. And a lot of baling twine on top of the tie here so they can break away if they need to if something happens. So you pull the rope through, then you make a loop, and the back of the loop is behind the rope, and then you take your other rope and pull it through like that. So this is a slip knot. So if something happens and you need to take them off, pull like that and the horse is pretty much free. Okay, so one more time on the quick release knot. You take the end with of the lead rope and you twist it into a circle with the back end behind it. And the reason you want the back end is because you're going to pull it over this way. And then you take the rope and pull it through that loop, and you tighten it. And that's it. Okay, I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about how you approach your horse and move around your horse safely. You'll need to know that if you're going to work with horses and have your clients work with horses. So the first thing you need to know is they have two blind spots, and the first one is right in front of them. So you never want to approach your horse directly in front of them like that. You usually want to come at an angle so that one of their eyes is on you. The other blind spot is directly behind them. And you know, you've heard of people getting kicked, and that might be why. They don't know you're back there. So it's really important when you're working with your horse or grooming your horse, putting your saddle on or anything, to, you know, let the horse know where you're going to go at. And so usually what you do is you're brushing your horse here, and maybe you want to move to the other side. And to do that, you keep your hand on your horse, or at least when you get back to the rear end where they don't see as well, you put your hand there so that they know that you're going to go around them. So I'm going to go around Breeze. She's going to let me do it, but you keep your hand so she knows you're back there, and then you move to the other side. It's really important to do that. Of course, the same comes true for if you're going to come up to a horse, because this is another blind spot. You don't want to come directly straight at their rear end, because if they can't see what you are, the first thing they're going to do is protect themselves, and you might get kicked that way. When you're grooming a tail even, it's better to take it off to the side and not groom directly behind, so that they know they can see you if they need to. Move their head around and see you. So that's a really important safety feature. And because you never know, it could be a wonderful horse. You love this horse, but they could get spooked all of a sudden, and they could rush forward and smash you or kick you or whatever. So the two do not enters are through under the neck, under the belly. Never reach, you know, put your head under there, or so the only way to get around to the other side is from around their rear end. And again, you just let them know that you're doing that, and you just keep your hand on them and you move over to the other side. Okay, I would like to talk to you a little bit about how to lead a horse around, and somehow how to safely lead your horse around. the first thing that's really important is to make sure your lead rope's not short. This lead rope's almost, I don't know, maybe be at least 10 feet long. The people that walk around with a 4-foot lead rope, that's a no-no. And the reason is, if the horse does spook or needs to get away from you for some reason, they can safely do that. The other thing is how you hold the lead rope. You don't, never mind her. You don't wrap it around your arm, because if she took off, that's your hand. You want to lightly hold it, if you're on this side to lead, with your closest hand. And then you basically just put this together and have an open hand, so if she decides to go somewhere, you can let go of it and have more length. Oh, you also don't hold with your hand down like this, because it can be pulled and you can rip out your thumb. So you always hold it with your hand up, and then you just tuck this one up in this hand, and the part that's on top is the part closest to you, so as you can see, it can just be pulled out of your hand safely without hurting you. And then you end up with the end of the rope, and the horse has time to move around. So if she wants to move away, I can do that. I can release that. It's such that she's spooked and wanted to run around me. Of course, she's really calm right now. That gives her more room, and it gives you more safety. If she wanted to rear or buck or something like that, you got room. Hopefully you don't have to deal with that with your horse, but it's really, really important to know how to hold the lead. Now, come on up, Breezy. Notice about my horse is she's rather relaxed here. She's happy to walk with me. She's not trying to run off without me, and she's just quite relaxed and happy to be out here to be walking. And that is the kind of calm demeanor you want if you're going to ride a horse or use them as a therapy.